the Basin Reserve this morning, particularly if you're going to be out and about in the weather. The wind has abated somewhat. There's still a little breeze coming down from the harbour across the Basin Reserve, but it's world standards really, and so everyone can have a good day, particularly the bowlers, because they can operate effectively from both ends without.
Of Toffee Kumar on the 5th ball of the last over of play last evening, and Yunus Khan, terrific average, terrific record, most experienced of this Pakistan lineup. 134 for 2.
Yeah, terrific record, but out of form. They actually made 300, which is effectively what they got. Look easy. They were never in trouble. They had it under control the whole way. It was a great way to start that series.
Little clip behind square leg. He's got another single there, but a little bit of swing early for Chris Martin here, Rigger. A quick single and a good single. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Rigger, that this surface is abrasive enough yet. There's still a lot of grass on the actual pitch itself. Yunus Khan very new to the crease. He's on 3. Azhar Ali, 64. And a good innings from the young man. And there's no one there. Should pick up at least 2. Arnell after it.
Ballers in, ballers in.
Probably pick up 3. No. Don't want to go. Oh, off the edge and out. Martin coming back in to Azhar Ali. He could not get his hands or his bat out of the way of it. And Ross Taylor picks up the catch. That first slip.
Boy, good piece of bowling this. He had been persevering with the odd short one as well. He's come out fairly aggressive and intent, Chris Martin, and that is a really good line. It just followed him. And instinctively, to stop it hitting him, all he could do was just run it into the hands of Ross Taylor. So Azhar Ali is out for 67. It's a big wicket for New Zealand because it means 2 new players will take the crease. 144 for 3.
Oh, New Zealand have picked up their first wicket this morning, and that brings the Pakistan skipper Misbah ul Haq to the crease.
2 legs in.
Just the 23 matches, averaging just under 40, a couple of hundreds and 8 50s. In a reasonable form on this tour so far. Picked up 100 in the warm-up match at Cobham Oval in Whangarei.
Really good, Wayne.
Oh, back in, angled. Inside edge there. A little bit of bounce as well, so some luck.
Real good, boys.
Well, he's troubled everyone in the spells he's bowled. I don't think he's been rewarded with the wickets that he probably deserves in either game so far. But he's caused trouble. Of all the New Zealand bowlers, he's probably caused the most trouble. The most shots like that.
Nicely driven. Beautifully driven, in fact. And that will run away to the boundary for 4.
Now, this will make Yunus Khan feel a lot better about himself and his form, because this is right out of the middle. Very good execution. Perfect cover drive. Often it just takes one stroke to just make things click when you're a little out of form. Look at that. Look at that.
And the slips, and then Martin gupped till it gully. It's clipped the way through mid-wicket, and that's nicely timed as well. I don't think Vittoria will haul it back. No, he won't.
One through the offside, one through the onside. Got in a really good position there. Didn't play around his front pad, so the balance And often when you're out of form, your balance is all over the show and you fall over shots like that and they hit you in your pad and you missed out, or you get it down and finally for one as opposed to hitting it through the onside.
Just straight onto leg stump. And good running, very good running. Misbah got back very quickly for the second run. Nicely turned away. And this will be a good contest as the fieldsman comes roaring around. And they get back for 3 runs. Well run by the 2 batsmen. He didn't want to run initially. He was prepared to wait and see what happened with the fieldsman. And in the end, picked up a couple of runs, Yunus Khan. Lovely stroke. Pitched up by Martin. And it should make it all the way to the boundary. It does tend to pull up pretty quickly, and a despairing dive is to no avail, and a lovely boundary for Misbah.
He's a great athlete, Brendan McCullum, and just a pleasure to watch, as was pleasure to watch this great drive from Misbah ul Haq. Waited for the ball, the length, and then bent down to make sure that it went all along the ground, and then Brendan McCullum with a dive and missing the ball. Looked good though. Yeah,
looked very good. Dived a bit early, I suspect. Well, it was never going to be too early. I think the ball was always going to win the race. End of the over from Chris Martin, and it's 170 for 3. Oh, that's got on the air. It was a top edge, and it looks like it might just about get down to the boundary. Despairing chase and a good run too by Williamson. And they come back for the 3rd, but it was a false stroke by Yunus Khan.
A strange kind of a shot from Yunus Khan, because he's usually good hitting the ball square against the spinners. I think he tried to crack it just a little too hard. Went back, and the balance was not right. The execution was rather average, and in the end, lucky escape. Could have been a lot worse for Yunus.
Daniel Vettori was quite interesting in his comments this morning to Simon Doull about his field placings. He said yesterday, particularly in the wind, he liked having that guy all the way back. Oh, run out scenario there. One player coming and one not. Misbah very keen on 3, and Yunus never at any stage. Thrashed away. Brilliant work by Williamson. A lot more of this going on in cricket. I don't mean the good fielding as such, but the little low 5s and the high 5s. Fielders running from all parts to just sort of... Notice it particularly in the Ashes. England are over that stuff. Oh, that's a lovely shot, and that should race away the quickening outfield here at the Basin for 4 more. So another very valuable boundary for Pakistan. They're 181 for 3, and we'll let Shane Bond answer that very shortly. Yeah, this is a good shot, this. Just a little bit wide, and Tim Southee, I think, lost the war of words when he dishes up one of these, and it goes to the fence very quickly.
That's really nicely driven. Chris Martin after it, and he won't get it. Beautiful on drive.
Yes, the balance was so nice that it was a real pleasure to watch this go across for 4 through the onside. He's looking good now, Yunus Khan. Every now and then he delivers this punch to make New Zealand think about his presence at the crease. Nicely done through the onside.
Southee disappointed with himself, but a very nice shot.
This test match really has been an absorbing one.
Well, that's all right for us. We sit up here. We don't have to be out there in it. 192 for 3. More aerial. And through the gap, though. Might be cut down. No, it won't. A dive. Oh, it wasn't. Thought it was going to get there, but brilliant work in the end. Brendan McCullum, and followed up by Kane Williamson, but McCullum might have hit one of the stationary cameras. Terrific dive. Look at this. Hasn't hit the rope. I think that's 4. Unfortunately for Brendan McCullum, I think his right arm is on the rope at the time he's trying to push that ball back. Ball is touching the hand. Yeah, I think that's 4. Yep. 50 partnership up.
But even with that boundary, you can't take away the effort and the brilliance that we saw from Brendan McCullum. He really looks terrific in the field.
Swung away this time, and swung away powerfully. 4 runs to finish the over for Misbah. 200 up, and it's 201 for 3.
3 wickets down.
Oh, last ball of the Vettori over, Ramiz. Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, he defines himself like that, Misbah-ul-Haq. He'll block and feel that there's nothing in it for him, and suddenly, boom, targeting him from a different angle, Vettori.
Oh,
that's a good one. Flatter, a little bit of drift. Could have involved the short leg fielder.
I just think we should see a little more of this from Vettori regularly. And he's drawn Misbah into that stroke. Yes, he's got away with it. He's played it nicely, but it's the last over before lunch, and he's drawn him into a false stroke.
Well, obviously his clock is still on Pakistan time, because it's just a minute away from lunch, and he's ventured into this big shot over mid-on. Took up the challenge. Doesn't matter to him whether chicken teriyaki is waiting for him or not.
Good finish there for Vettori. He's called over, and now it is lunch. Yeah, just had to wait. If the umpires could get to their positions before the clock ticked over to 1 o'clock, we would have had another over, but not to be. So not a bad morning for Pakistan. 119 minutes, just under the 30 over mark. 75 runs and only the loss of 1 wicket, which for Pakistan's cause is very, very good. The man who was set overnight, Azhar Ali, been dismissed for 67. But a nice partnership building here between Misbah-ul-Haq, the captain, and the most experienced of the Pakistan players, Yunus Khan, who's on 39. Partnership is 65. In 99 minutes, so they will go to lunch after 78 overs at 209 for 3, and New Zealand will be 2 overs away from a new ball, which they will need to use and use well in the second session. A wicket apiece for Martin and Southey, and 1 for Daniel Vettori from 25 overs. So New Zealand 356, Pakistan 209 for 3. They trail by 147 runs.